This episode of To Make Concern was brought to you by the following sponsors. And by contributions to your TWIMC station from viewers like you. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey yo, what's poppin', my Bopkins? My name's W-I-double-L. Here's hoping you doing swell. Over to my right is Steven, making sure you're not seething. And this is To Whom May Concern, the podcast you all yearn. Here for another banger. So without further ado, how are you today, Mr. Steven?
Well, you know, it certainly has been a day. One might say even one of the days of all time. You know, I woke up this morning, so that was pretty unfortunate.
Yeah. And on the topic of waking up, how do you start your morning? This is totally not foreshadowing anything
Oh yeah,
that we're going to talk about.
I'll give you the actual truthful description of how I start my morning. I wake up approximately an hour before I have to be in class. I get dressed. I gather all of my things, and sometimes I stop to take a little drink of water before I leave. And then I go out the door and I get on the bus, and I do one of two things. Either I get on the bus and I ride to campus and I walk to class, or I get on my bike and I bike to class. Either way, I end up in class. And that's my morning.
Cool. That's cool and all. But let me tell you how I start my morning. See, I usually wake up at around 4 a.m. And, you know, first things first, I always gotta get a bowl. I gotta put some ice in it, gotta pour some sparkling water, and, you know, I just gotta dunk my face into it, right? Dunk it in there, and take it out. And then right after that, what I like to do is I like to take a banana. I like to eat the banana, and once I finish with that, I take the banana peel and I just kind of smear it over my face. You know, I kind of use it as face wash, so I just kind of smear it all over, right? And then
weird fetish, but you
as I do that, I hop out, and after I do that, I head out of my hotel room and I go out to the pool, and then here's the important thing. I take a dive into the pool, and then I levitate into the air for approximately 4 minutes before actually diving into the pool, right?
As one does.
And after I do that, I hop on my computer and I continue to sell some supplements and scan people on my courses. That's how I like to start my mornings.
I wonder if this could possibly be in reference to the way that any other people start their morning. You know, it just seems like such a powerful morning routine. I just can't believe that more people aren't doing this. Like, could this possibly be something that other people would do?
And that's what Ashton Hall thought of when he decided to record his morning routine. So if you didn't get the joke by now, dear viewers, we are of course talking about the Ashton Hall viral meme going around.
A person on the internet who apparently, as I was told by Mr. Producer Will over here, went completely viral for recording a seemingly pretty normal morning routine, and blew up on the internet without me hearing about it, which, I mean, I'm not going to say that's abnormal. I mean, there's a lot of things I don't hear about because I am uncultured.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah, and like the thing about it is, initially, it was a meme that kind of just lived on Twitter. Like, it was just on Twitter for a little bit, so when I saw it, I was like, okay, that's stupid, but okay. And then I just moved on, but then it just kept growing and growing. I just kept on seeing it everywhere. And eventually, it started coming into my YouTube shorts. And I just kept seeing it over and over. I was like, alright, fine. This is viral enough. I guess we'll talk about it.
Reluctantly.
And, reluctantly, pretty much. And, so to give a little bit more context of who this is, Ashton Hall exists in the side of YouTube in the side of the internet that we like to call the alpha male section of the internet. You may recall a few years ago, a man by the name of Andrew Tate became very viral for his lavish lifestyle and his inspirational quotes. I say inspirational very loosely because
what are they called? Like lifestyle influencers is what they call them.
Lifestyle influencers. Yeah. Basically, these are guys who sell you on a course on how to become a hustler like them, and to sell you on this idea. What Andrew Tate did was he sold you on the idea that we are currently living in the Matrix. We are in a world simulated by robots. And in order to break out of the Matrix being a vague term to represent like the government or like the deep state or whatever, like deemed to be the enemy, it's like they are controlling us. They are controlling everything that we do. They are the Matrix, and we need to break out of it. And the only way to break out of it is to buy my program. On how to hustle and become a hustler like me.
Yeah.
And that is through and through kind of what the idea is. And there's a lot more that goes into it, but that's kind of the gist of it. And Ashton Hall exists in that corner of alpha male influencers who they prioritize bodybuilding and attaining wealth, and those are kind of the two main things: bodybuilding and wealth. And
it's always
Ashton
like
Hall exists.
So if you want to see it from my perspective, someone who like doesn't really follow this, the way that it usually shows up is it's some like really buff guy who's gonna be like shirtless or something the whole time just so he can show off like, yeah, look how buff I am.
Yeah.
And he's doing like some crazy morning routine that involves getting up at like 3 a.m. and like doing all of this stuff it's basically all just a massive flex. Just like, look at me, look at how awesome
Basically.
I am. It's pretty much that.
Look how buff I am. Look how hard I work. I'm such a hard worker. I don't even wake up at the normal time of 6 a.m. I wake up even earlier than that.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it ends up looking to someone like me who just, I just see, oh wow, there's a guy and he does some stuff in the morning. Woo.
And I think what people gravitate towards in terms of memeability is, I think number one, the structure of the video, because it's edited very fast, and what really stands out is the time slot that's edited right in the middle of the screen. And say like at 4 a.m. I do this, and then at 4:07 I go outside, and then at 4:11 I go inside. And I think that's what stands out the most to people. And a lot of people also brought up some editing mistake that or I say editing mistake, that's how I perceive it to be, but maybe this was intentional. That joke I said earlier about, there's a part of the video where he goes in for a dive into the pool, and the text on screen said 7:06 or something like that. He was in the air, and then before he lands in the water, it changes to 7:10. It's like 4 minutes ahead. So a lot of people are joking like, he's a time traveler. He was suspended in the air for 4 minutes. This man's truly a specimen.
Truly a specimen. Yeah, I don't know. That probably just has to do with like the editing, I would assume. Like, I mean, obviously the time's probably not accurate anyway. Like, you can guess that.
Well, of course not. When you dive into the pool, that's like 2 seconds, not 4 minutes.
Well, I mean, like for the entire video, the time is probably not accurate.
Like, I have to, like, it's probably kind of accurate to the point of like where it's like when he goes outside at 4 a.m., it's probably 4 a.m. in the outside. I'd see no reason he'd have to lie about that. He goes out at 8 p.m. It's like, I'm gonna say it's 4 a.m. just to keep him guessing. Like, I don't really think that's the case. Yeah. There's not really a whole lot to say on this guy other than, he's just, I don't know. This is kind of the reason why I didn't want to talk about this, because there really is not that much else to say. Like, it's just something that you look at, you kind of clown on a little bit, and then you just kind of move on, right? Steven, you there?
Yes. I'm just listening very intently.
You didn't say anything. I was worried the screen went frozen for a second.
Yes, I just...
Okay. Alright, so, yeah. Ashton Hall. He wakes up early and people go crazy.
Yeah, basically. Yeah, so when Will... I'll give you my... I've already kind of given you my perspective, but I'll give you my perspective on this. So Will sends me like this YouTube short, like the actual short that went viral of his morning routine. And he was like,
well,
oh,
it
yeah,
initially was
is...
uploaded on TikTok. But,
well, same thing. But he was like, oh yeah, this is definitely gonna be a topic. So I was like, oh, it's probably some like major thing, like everybody's talking about like this. And I watched it, and like it just like to me, it's just a guy doing a morning routine. Granted, it's not like the most normal morning routine. Like there are some strange parts about it, like the time and consistency in the editing, him dunking his face in a bowl of ice water, rubbing a banana peel on his face, like it's not.
And here's the funny thing. Here's the funny thing about that banana peel. I saw a video who looked into it, and it turns out that's actually like a something that could help. Like the ingredients are in a banana peel could actually be good things for your face, which is I find to be hilarious. So maybe more people should be taking bananas and then rubbing it on their face. Maybe Ashton Hall is going to revolutionize. Maybe there'll be a new face cream that's like banana flavor. And when you open it up, it's just bananas. It's just like, there's your face cream. Here you go. It's literally bananas. That's gonna be the tagline. This new face cream is bananas. Literally. That's funny. But yeah, I guess what I wanted to talk about was just kind of the so why did this go viral?
I don't
like,
that's kind of what I was
like
saying.
we talked about it a little bit, but it really is just kind of interesting to me that like out of all the things, this is what we're focusing on.
Yeah, that's kind of the same way that I was thinking about it. Like I was saying with the like as I was watching it, like yeah, there's some parts that kind of stick out a little bit, like this is a little weird, but like at the end of the day, it really looked to me like just one of those like generic like lifestyle, this is my morning routine, and it's some like absurdly like no one actually lives their life like this kind of thing, right? It's just people kind of doing this for attention,
right?
But it didn't really seem that significant to me. And so I was asking Will, like, what's the significance of that? Why is this, big enough of a thing that we have to make it a podcast point? And he sends me another video by the YouTube channel Lessons in Meme Culture, who basically just explains memes, saying this can explain it better than I can. And the whole point of that video was basically talking about how people are going wild over this morning routine because of the fact that it's designed to push one of these courses that people sell that are supposed to like make you get rich quick, which they don't work. They've never worked. They've been around for a very long time, and it's very obvious that they don't work. They're scam. And so like people are mad about the fact that he's advertising this because it's so obviously a scam. And like, yeah, sure, it might be. That might be true. My thing is, why is this so significant? Because like this is nothing new. These courses, these get rich quick scams are not new. They've been around forever. So why are we getting so hung up on this?
Yeah. Something tells me that's only part of the reason why it went viral. I think another part of it is the fact that so many people took so much fun in and basically recreating it and mocking it, because it is very easy to recreate it and be like, yeah, this is what I do. And then there's those that take it a step further. They're just like, yeah, I wake up with a bowl of water next to me. I dunk my face into that, and then after I brush my teeth, I dunk my face into water. They just make
After I
water
brush my teeth, I drink orange juice.
And after I drink the orange juice, I pour the orange juice into a bowl, and then I put my face in it.
Yes. What, you're
And then
telling me
after that,
you
I
don't
go
start your
outside.
morning like that?
And after I do that, I go. There's one that I saw that was like someone taking a dive, and then it just freeze frames on them suspended in the air, and it just has the timer going by minute, and then once it reaches 4 minutes later, they go in.
I don't know what I would do. My idea for an edit of that would be just have doing a dive and then transition into a green screen of you just pulling out a chair and sitting down and having a drink while just suspended in midair above the pool.
Wait, hold on. So are you saying that he would go for the dive and then it would stop, and then he would just get up mid-air, and then just stand there?
Yes.
Check his watch.
Yes. Exactly that.
What would be funny is while he was waiting, he pulls out a bowl, he grabs, he reaches behind him and then grabs the bowl and then scoops the water and then dunk his face into that.
Yes.
and then after he's done with that, he throws the bowl away and then he gets back into the diving position and then he just boom, just dives right in.
It's okay, I feel like it's been long enough now.
Yes. See, this is why I wanted to make this a topic, because it is actually fun. But it is, at the same time, it is one of those things where it's just all right, and the thing about this meme is it's already having people saying that it's already becoming dead. So it's by the time we upload this video, it's probably going to be considered dead.
Yeah,
already.
probably.
So that's why I wanted to talk about it as soon as possible. Try to strike the iron while it's hot, Yeah. Alright, I think that's enough of that. Let me go ahead and do that. Okay. Alright, so for this next topic, this next topic I selected for you, Steven, because whenever I come across something that's airplane or flight related, I always need to get your input.
Of course.
I need to get your input on this. You know what I mean? Because I don't know that many other pilots out there. You're probably the only pilot that I know, or at least pilot in training / pilot not in training.
Technically, I am. Well, I am still in training, but I also technically am a pilot in the sense I have a license and can go and fly planes. So.
Yeah, but yeah, what I want to talk about is I found out about this thing called a mystery flight by this company known as Wizz Air, and basically what it is you pay for a ticket for this mystery flight, and once you get on it, the destination is totally random. They literally tell you this plane will fly to a completely random destination. So this is called Wizz Air Mystery Flights. You can look it up. It's a real thing. And
interesting.
I just find that to be the most hilarious thing. You literally pay for a ticket. Let's say you're trying to travel. Let's say you're trying to travel to Texas or something, and you accidentally pay for this mystery flight without knowing it. You believe you're paying for a Texas flight, but really you're paying for a mystery flight. And then what makes me laugh about this is, do you remember that short I made back in the first episode where we had that bit where you were ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this flight. We may or may not reach our destination. Like, that still makes me laugh. But what would make me laugh is, ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard this flight. As you know, this is the mystery flight. So where we land is a complete guess to any of us. We don't know where we're going to be landing. I hope you enjoy, and thanks for riding with us. I just like to imagine that one guy who didn't know that it was a mystery flight. They were, wait, what?
Wait, where am I going? Where am I going?
And then it's like, and for those who are just now figuring out what's going on, it's already
Best of
too
luck
late.
to
The
you.
doors have been sealed. Yeah, best of luck to you.
Only hope can save you now.
But yeah, I just want to get your input on that as a pilot. You know, like, would you be willing to be a pilot where the destination was totally random?
Well, I mean, okay, so if you think about it from the perspective of a pilot, right? Obviously, there's still a pilot flying the plane, and obviously the pilot still knows where they're going. Like, the destination is random to the people who are getting on the plane, but the pilot knows where it's going, right?
Yeah, I suppose that's true.
But I know it kind of breaks the immersion and stuff, and like it's not really in the spirit of the joke, but like that, when you think about it from the perspective of a pilot, that's just how it is.
All right, so let's move out of the perspective of the pilot. And let's move it into the perspective of someone who's just getting on a plane. You know, you're getting on a plane, you're trying to go somewhere. You have a particular place in mind that you thought you bought a ticket for, but once you get on it, you realize it's a mystery flight. What would you do then?
I don't know. I don't know, man.
Like, just tell me what you would do in that. Just tell me what you would do.
Probably, I would like
in that situation.
Go like, well, if it like realistically, if I somehow manage to accidentally buy a ticket to a random flight when I meant to buy a ticket to another, I would probably like go, like, if I was already on the plane, then, you know, I'm assuming you have flight attendants, so like go to one of the flight attendants and be like, hey, yo, it seems that I have purchased the wrong ticket and I am on the wrong plane, please let me off. Because like, if you think about it, right, you paid for the ticket to be on the plane, but like there's nothing saying you actually have to be on the plane. Like, you gave them money, that's all they care about. They can't stop you from not being on the plane.
Here's the thing about that. You only find out once the pilot starts talking, and usually, correct me if I'm wrong, but usually it happens once the plane already takes off, right?
I mean, well, okay, I may be a pilot, but I've only actually been on a commercial flight like one time, so I'm not like entirely sure how it is usually, but maybe.
I'm pretty sure it tells you where you're going once the plane already takes off. So,
I mean, if
so
that's
you're
true,
in the air.
if that's true, then you're kind of just screwed. Like, there's not really anything you can do at that point. At that point, I would just stay there and like see where it takes me. I guess I don't know. Although I can break the immersion again. So if obviously, even though it's a random flight, it's still gonna have like a flight number for like the air traffic control that has to know about it and where it's going and stuff. And so what you can do is you could just go look that up and see where it has a flight plan filed to, and that'll tell you where it's going. So, I mean, you could do that.
Well, how do you find out what the flight number is as just a passenger?
I don't know.
Does it have it on the ticket?
Yeah, well, if you're taking like a normal flight, then usually it'll have like your flight number on the ticket. But maybe they don't give you the flight number for this flight, and then, you know, there's not really anything you can do at that point.
I just find that scenario so funny. Let's say it's not even that you bought the wrong ticket. Let's say you bought the right ticket to go somewhere, but then you accidentally bump into someone who is also holding their ticket, and then you try to grab your ticket, and you accidentally grab the wrong one, and both of y'all just have the wrong ticket, but you don't. Y'all don't realize it.
No, you
Like,
know what
oh,
the
I got my
funny,
ticket back.
no.
Okay, cool.
You want to know what the funny part of that would be? So if you think about it this way, imagine a person who bought like the random ticket and the person who bought like a ticket to actually go somewhere. So the person who had the normal ticket and got the random ticket is screwed because they are now going to a random place that wasn't where they actually wanted to go. The person who bought the random ticket, it doesn't really make a difference because they didn't know where they were going anyway. So like they just basically
That is true. You know what? That is actually true. So the guy with the regular ticket would still be happy because they'd be going to a random place, but the other guy would be like, they would get on the plane, they'd be like, "Oh man, I can't wait to see my family in Texas," and then they get that. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome aboard to this mystery flight. Where we're going, as you all know, is a complete mystery. We may be going to Abu Dhabi. We might be going to Morocco. We could be going anywhere. So strap on, enjoy the ride, and then the guy's like, "What?
What? Excuse me?"
And then they see the ticket and they realize what happened. It's like, "Oh no. And then what would be the funniest twist would be if the mystery flight actually was to Texas.
just get insanely lucky and just end up going where you were going anyway.
And then he gets off, and then he sees the guy that he bumped into, and he's just like, "You." And then they meet again, and then from there, I don't know what would happen. But that's a funny idea for like a movie or something. Like, the premise just being this mystery flight, someone bought a ticket for it, and then another guy bought a ticket to go elsewhere, and then they accidentally bumped into each other, they swapped tickets, and then the other guy gets trapped somewhere, like, unbeknownst to them, and they have to escape. Which, that's another thing. To the people that would actually get on these mystery flights, like, what would be the objective or like the reasoning behind going on one?
It's just like wanting to go somewhere. It'd be like those people who like try to explore the world or whatever, who just like want to go visit places, and it's just like their way of finding a place to visit.
They just want it to be randomized. Like they're very indecisive of where they actually want to go. So finally, they're
they
just
like,
wanted to
like,
okay, fine.
Themselves.
Let me let the airplane decide for me. They will decide where I go. But yeah, I want to talk about that because I find it to be hilarious, the idea of a mystery flight. Imagine you got into a cab. Imagine, like, I know Uber and stuff that exists, but like, imagine you're in New York and you get into a cab, and you're like, "Hey, I would like to go to this particular place," and then the driver stops and is like, "Don't you know what cab you're in? You're in the mystery cab. Where I take you is completely random."
Okay,
and you're like,
that one would be more scary because like if you think about a plane, right? If you're on a mystery plane, like yeah, you don't know exactly where you're going, but you know at the very least you're going to be going to an airport somewhere. If you get into a mystery cab, then you could just be going to like the middle of nowhere.
And honestly, you know, the more I think about it, that actually could be like a, if they open like a mystery cab that was like taking you anywhere, that could be exploited to be a kidnapping scheme.
It could.
And like you could just justify it, be like, "Oh, it's a mystery. It's supposed to be a mystery." But yeah.
Don't ruin the mystery, bro.
Okay, let's think of what else. What else could be like a mystery destination thing? Let's say you go to a theme park. Let's say you get on a ride, and the ride like is like a roller coaster, and it travels into a portal, and the portal takes you to a random dimension. Like the park owners don't even know where it goes. But it just takes them somewhere.
Knows.
And then, let's say it takes them to a universe in which dogs rule the world, and they had to roam that for a little bit before the park ride takes them back to the present world. What do you think of that? Like right now, we're getting more into the area of like science fiction. Like before,
or just
like the
straight up
mystery fight. That was,
fantasy.
or like what?
Or just like straight up fantasy, because like
Fantasy,
I guess
yeah.
I guess Portals could be science fiction if you think about it.
Yeah, I think fantasy is actually the correct. When I say portals, I kind of think of Rick and Morty, of like them going through portals, going through dimensions,
true.
and
well,
like.
I mean, Rick and
And that's
I
just
haven't.
a science fiction show. So
I
I think that's
say,
where I kind of.
I haven't seen Rick and Morty, but like I think that's science fiction from what I can remember.
Yeah, it's science fiction.
The only thing I remember from
yeah.
the only thing I remember from Rick and Morty is the joke about the perfectly vertical lightsaber.
I don't remember that. I've only seen the first 3 seasons. I don't remember.
I don't know what season it's from. It's like he drops a lightsaber and like it's pointed straight down, and like lightsabers will just cut through basically anything. So it just keeps falling.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. I feel like I've seen that joke elsewhere too. Of like, it turn on a lightsaber and then you drop it, and it's just like it just falls forever. It's just like, what do you do by then? Because like, unless you turn it off manually, you can't turn it. Like, it doesn't turn off any other way, right?
Yeah. I think. Well,
like,
I don't know how it is in actual Star Wars lore, but I mean, in that show, it doesn't turn off. So.
Yeah, so it's just supposed to fall forever.
Yeah, basically.
Fall throughout the entire. You basically cut a hole into the entire Earth. And like, let's say it does cut through. Let's say you like drop a ping pong ball through the hole. Does it like go out the other side, or like how does that work?
Well, I mean, okay. Well, if you think about it that way, like going all the way through the Earth, the Earth's gravity is obviously centered on the Earth because gravity. That's how gravity works. So it wouldn't necessarily go like all the way through. It would just be pulled toward the middle, and then it would just be in the middle. And like disregarding like heat and pressure and scientific stuff like that, it would basically just eventually settle in the middle at the center of gravity of the Earth, and it'd just be there.
I feel like if we were to take heat and pressure, the lightsaber would probably like combust.
Probably,
like once it reaches the core. So.
But I mean, so would the ping pong ball. So.
Well, it's assuming that it cuts through the core and it cuts through the other side, and then you just have a hole through the Earth. That you just drop a ping pong ball through it, and it just goes through. It's basically I'm gonna use this cup as the example, not sponsored by Jax. So we have our Earth right here, and you have your lightsaber, and the lightsaber just cuts through. It cuts through. Cuts through like that, and now you just have a really bad hole. It's sorry for it, but you just have a hole like that, and so you you grab a ping pong ball, and it just goes through. Will it go through like that? Okay,
it would
what is this?
It
will
would
it go through like that, or will it like come back out?
Well, okay. I mean, technically, if you think about it, it would like have enough momentum. Like as it fell through the center, it would kind of like it would go through the center of gravity, and it would probably have enough momentum that it would start going the other way, like back out toward the other side. But
like back up?
No, like through the other side. But it would like
through the other side.
Yeah, but it would like be being pulled back toward the center by gravity, so it'd probably just go like back and forth a few times and then eventually stop.
It go like back and forth. And this is assuming that once it reaches the center, it doesn't just melt. Like let's say we put fire protection, like a Minecraft enchantment on the ping pong ball. And it just goes through, and it just goes back and forth. That'd be funny. So yeah, I think that's it for that topic. All right. So as for this next topic, I wanted to talk about me and my dad, who is in the room right now. Hey, Dad.
Oh, nice.
He just walked
Special
in,
guest on the
and
podcast.
yeah, I don't know if he even picked up on my mic, but he just said, "Hey."
Sounds about right.
Over the spring break, me and him, we went to see the movie. We went to the movies.
The movie,
we
went to go see the movie. You know the one.
we saw the movie. Well, it was like that. What? Only one movie was made, and then never another one.
I don't know. I feel like it would probably be
one movie.
It would probably be pretty valuable, and then like movie entertainment wouldn't be a thing. But I don't know.
You just have one movie, just one movie. I don't know why that's so funny to think about, but yeah, we went to see the movie. We went to see the movie. I keep saying that.
Congratulations.
We went to see the movies. We went to see all of them. We went to see
every
all
single
the
one,
movies.
every movie that's ever been created.
Before I get onto this topic, I do want to say, like, what if you went to the movie theater and you tried to just see every single movie that they were offering to show, like, in one day?
I mean, okay, so how many movie, like, I don't go to the movies often, so like how many movies do movie theaters usually offer at one time?
Usually like 8 or 10, between 8 and 12 ish.
Yeah, so I would assume, like, so obviously they're gonna be playing movies throughout the day. So like if you were to spend a whole day, like a whole, I was gonna say 24 hours, but like they're not open that long. So like a whole like period of time that they're open for the day, right? You wouldn't be able to see like every instance of a movie that they show, but it stands to reason that they would be like replaying some movies. So like it's feasible, I think, that you could potentially see every like individual movie that they're showing that particular day.
Yeah. Like, so even if you could, would you be able to? I feel like you would have to have a lot of mental strength to be able to get through every single movie that's a theater showing. Because like, even if all the movies are good, after you watch a couple of movies, you're gonna be like mentally burnt out. You're like, okay, no more movies right now, and then it's like, oh wait, for this challenge, I need to go see the next one.
Hey, if you think about it, it's not that much different than people who spend like 8 hours binge watching a show.
Well, I mean, the thing about that is like, when you're at home, like you're just watching the TV, and the TV's going through like a speaker, right? When you're in a movie theater, there's like speakers all around you. It's like surround sound constantly, and like the bright big screen. You're just there, and you're just like immersed in it all. And once you leave, it's a lot more exhausting than going to just watch a movie at home. Because like at home, you can change like how loud it is or how bright it is, but at a movie theater, you can't. So that's a little more challenging than just watching a bunch of shows or movies at home all at once, right?
I mean, maybe there you could have an argument there. I personally probably wouldn't mind that much, just because I kind of like the movie theater environment. They do tend to like make it like really really heavy, I guess, but that's kind of like just the effect that you're supposed to get from a movie theater. I never really minded it that much, but that
what do
me.
you mean by heavy?
Like, you know, like they had the volume
like,
turned up a lot, usually.
So like impactful. So yeah, it's like impactful,
yeah.
And like big and like bombastic, I guess you could say.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Because it's supposed to be like a big experience. You're watching something on the big screen.
It's supposed to be like immersive, like you're actually there, you know. They want to make it feel like they really want to convey like the bigness of the theater, right? Because like, you know, the whole point of a theater is like you're watching the movie on like the big screen, and so, you know, they have the big screen. You want to have the big sound to go with it.
The big sound, yes. It doesn't have to be good sound. It has to just be big, just like. Well, okay, it is good sound, and like it also there's different levels of quality that you could get. You could just get like a regular movie experience, but then there's like stuff like IMAX and like Dolby, stuff like that.
Yeah.
That's like it's like extra high definition. Like it goes like beyond 4K. It like goes up to 8K or 12K.
4K. That sounds like a marketing like saying for a movie theater, like beyond 4K.
That's probably a specific term. Like, hold on, let me look up the exact thing of like IMAX. Like, what K is IMAX in? Is
All of
IMAX
them.
in?
It's in all of them.
Okay. All the K's. Okay, so it's around 12K to 18K for like film projection, like projecting onto a movie screen. It's like 12K to 18K. So yeah, it's insane. That's just what one thing says. Another thing says it's usually at 8K or.
Doesn't you have a screen that big, you can have that many Ks.
You can have all the Ks. We're gonna make a movie and show it in 30K. I truly wonder if there is a limit to how many Ks you can have. That's gonna be the title of this episode. How many Ks can we get it to?
How many Ks can we get it to?
No. Here's a better one. How many Ks is too many Ks? like what would you describe? Like, what K would you describe real life? Like, would you describe real life to be like 24K?
Okay, listen. So, okay. So there's two ways I think that you can think about this, right? I'm about to go like full on nerd mode.
Okay.
So there's two ways that you can think about this, right? On the one hand, the way that we describe K, like K really just stands for 1,000, and the number that we're describing in terms of resolution is how many pixels are making up an image, because we display images on screens with pixels, which are basically really, I'm sure I'm not going to explain that. I'm sure you all know what pixels are. K just is how many pixels there are. Real life obviously is not displayed with pixels because, it's real life. However,
it's displayed in tons of atoms that form together, and it's like, atoms is what makes up stuff, and we could get very scientific, but let's say
the scientific way,
for the purpose of this debate, let's say that pixels and atoms are basically equivalent.
The other way,
each atom is basically a pixel.
The other way you could think about it, right, is like, how eyes work, right? You have like retinas and you have like rod and cone receptors. You can think of like real life resolution in terms of just how many receptors you have, because like each receptor, as far as I know, at least I'm pretty sure each receptor only shows like, it basically is like a pixel in your like brain. So like you could think of it that way.
Yeah.
Or
so for instance, right now I'm wearing glasses, which is putting everything in 1080p. But if I take them off, it's more like 140p that I'm seeing. So it's kind of like changing the resolution like that. You could think of it like some people are born with 140p eyesight. Some are born with 360, and there's those with 20/20 1080p vision.
Yeah, bro, I have 1080p vision.
It's like, next time I go to the eye doctor, I'm just gonna be like, "Hey doc,
what resolution?
Can you tell me specifically what resolution is my eyes set at?" They're like, "I'm sorry, but since birth you were cursed with 240p eyesight."
This is gonna be the new way that we're gonna describe eyesight. It's not gonna be 20/20 anymore. It's gonna be 1080p vision.
You know what? That's actually gonna be the title. What resolutions are your eyes set at? Well, are your eyes set at 1080p, bro? I don't know. I'm throwing all these ideas for titles out. I'm probably gonna pick none of them.
This video is just gonna be named something like, "This episode's morning routine is happened."
I dunked my face into water so I could be cool.
Not just any water, ice water.
Like ice water. But yeah, last episode I said I was going to name it after the Cobain shape-shifting bear bit, but then I ended up naming it after the storm shelter bit. Which, by the way, that segment we did where we analyzed the lyrics and concluded the shape-shifting bear thing, that is still one of my favorite segments. I rewatched the episode and I was laughing hysterically looking back on it because it's so fun. Like, I knew we were going to come up with something good, but I think that might actually have been my favorite segment of the lyrical analysis that we've done. Because from 5 unique lines, we've concluded that Kurt Cobain, the frontman of Nirvana, is actually a shape-shifting bear who is trying to warn us about the government conspiracy against his kind.
Yes.
All that from 5 lines. 5 unique lines.
And if you want to see the full analysis, go watch our previous episode.
Yeah, it'll be like at the tail end of the episode, so.
Yeah. Because unlike this episode, we talked about the most important topic. Like, well, it may not have been the most important topic. Generally, the significant topic of the episode is just whatever topic Will gives me homework on. In this instance, it was the morning routine one. But usually, when I get homework on a topic,
yeah, that's true.
Usually, when I get homework on a topic, that's kind of my cue of like, yeah, this one's gonna be significant.
Or at the very least, it's something that like. It's a topic that I think would be better if you actually knew the context behind it. I wanted to like get you to know it before we actually talked about it in the podcast. That's how it usually works for me. Yeah. So all that stuff aside, what I wanted to actually bring up with the movie theater thing was when you go to the movies, and this is something that I'm kind of part of because I still go to the movies regularly, even though I know a lot of people don't really go to the movies anymore. COVID kind of killed that.
That and the advent of streaming services.
Right, yeah. But I still like going to the movie theaters, but one thing that kind of annoys me personally is when a movie is set to start at like a specific time. Let's say it's supposed to start at 7.
Oh yeah,
right. That's what the movie ticket says.
That's never the time it actually starts. That's like the time that the trailers or whatever they're called start.
You get there at 7, and that's when trailers start. Yeah. And that could last anywhere from like 10 minutes to like, in some cases, it's lasted for like 30 minutes. Like, there's actually a really interesting case, like a court case I want to bring up about a man who sued a movie theater because the time that the movie was supposed to start, the movie started over 30 minutes after its original allotted time, and because of that, it caused him to be late for work. Like, his plan was to go to the movies, watch the movie, and then once the movie was done, he was gonna have just enough time to go to work. But because the movie started 30 minutes after it was supposed to start, he was late for work, and so he ended up suing the theater, and he actually won.
That's crazy.
He actually won the settlement. So, so yeah, I wanted to get your input on that, as well as the just the idea of starting the movie not at when we actually said it would start, but like after that.
I don't know. Well, I mean, in terms of like the him suing that, I feel like that's a pretty crazy reason to sue somebody, just because like, oh yeah, you made me late for work because the movie didn't start on time. Like, nobody was forcing him to stay there. He could just left. I mean, like, yeah, I guess you want to see the movie that you paid to see, but like, it's between that and
like you missed the You missed the ending of it.
Yeah,
But the last 10 minutes.
But like
or something.
when it's between that and being late for work, like I mean, I don't know. I guess being late for work he had like like a tangible thing to take to court and be like, hey, I was late for work because of this. I don't know. But
That's the specific sound he made right after making that complaint. Just
yeah, exactly. The other
it's like a child pouting after not being given a toy. It's like
yeah. But in terms of like starting the movie,
it's like if a kid went to the movies and the movie started a little later than it was supposed to, and it caused him to miss his favorite show on TV, and he complains about it.
Yeah, and then he tries to.
That's
sue
kind of the
company.
equivalent of what this is. And then the kid sues the company.
Yes, yeah, but for like the idea of like starting the movie at the specified time when it says like the movie's gonna start, or like they'll give you the time like the movie's scheduled to play at this time, and then like the movie actually starts like half an hour later or something like that. I think there's a very specific reason, at least I think. I don't have any evidence to actually back this up. This is just what I think. I think there is a very specific reason why they do that, and that is because the trailers that they're showing are technically advertising space. Like, I'm pretty sure other movie producers will like pay the theater to get shown like as previews before the actual movie. And so
Right.
like it's like a way of advertising to like say, oh hey, the movie's gonna start at this time, to like get you in there, and then they're like, oh yeah, just kidding, here's a bunch of advertisements for movies that you don't care about. And so like they're just trying to force you to see the trailers for the movies to like convince you to go watch them. I guess that's what I think.
I love the idea of like, let's say a movie theater actually had like a timer that was set for a set time, and once it reaches 0, it's like, all right, time for the movie trailers.
Sure.
It's just like starts the movie. Like they intentionally, it's like, and now our feature presentation will start right after these messages.
Yes. That is exactly how it goes.
Imagine if like a sporting event did that. Imagine if like the next Super Bowl, like it was set to start at 7:20, and then it's like they begin, and it's like, ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Super Bowl. Right after 30 minutes of ads.
Right after we show Taylor Swift being surprised that her boyfriend didn't make a play or something like that.
No. That'd be like, that's the actual game. We're talking about like the advertisements. We can advertise.
Sorry, I forgot. There's advertisements, and then there's the actual game, aka mostly Taylor Swift.
And then Taylor Swift, she's not part of the advertising. She's part of the entertainment. Well, I say entertainment in the sense of like it's supposed to be entertaining, but
I hope you'll find this entertaining.
I hope you find this entertaining. But yeah.
We need you to find this entertaining.
Please. I hope you're entertained. And I hope you're not looking down
Are
on your
you
phone
not
playing Subway
entertained?
Surfers, or I hope you're not watching Family Guy clips right as we're talking. We're trying to provide the best entertainment for you so that you don't have to go back to those brain rot things that stimulates your brain while you're watching something. Like what's funny about those things is like I still see them when I'm scrolling and I see a clip. If I see a short that has like a clip and like a Subway Surfers type thing going on at the same time, I skip it. Like I actively avoid those videos.
Hey, that's honestly not like a bad idea. It's like, I don't know. I've seen it's not even just Subway Surfers anymore. I've seen it all. There's always like those satisfying
there's like you
ASMR
know those
videos. There's like cooking. There's Minecraft parkour. There's all kinds of things.
Yeah. You know those apps on your phone, like the game apps that are just like obviously Subway Surfers, but it's also something like that basketball hoop one where it's kind of like Flappy Bird, but it's like you're trying to get basketball through a hoop. I've seen some of those. I've seen some of the ASMR, like the cutting up kinetic sand.
Yeah, I've seen those too.
And what's funny, I actually have an app on my phone that has a lot of these kind of things. It's called Anti-Stress, and it has like simulations of stuff like that. Like the I'll show you. Hold on. Where is it? I swear it was somewhere.
Such engaging content.
It's right here. This thing right here, like the.
Oh wait, yeah, no, I think I have seen that one. I think I have seen that one.
I don't really have this on my phone, so Steven, go ahead and talk about something while I provide the other simulation for our low attention span viewers out there.
The FitnessGram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. I don't actually know the rest of that quote, so give me just 1 second.
I think I remember the running test will start as soon as the timer hits 0 or something like that. Line up to start.
Hold on.
Pull up the official quote.
The FitnessGram Pacer test. No, get
Hold
that.
on, wait. I closed the app.
The viewers aren't gonna stay engaged.
Okay, I'm sorry. Let me pull
you're
up
losing.
Thing
You're
that's
losing retention. You're losing retention.
Okay, right here. Do it.
The FitnessGram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. The test is used to measure a student's aerobic capacity as part of the FitnessGram assessment. Students run back and forth as many times as they can, each lap signaled by a beep sound. The tests get progressively faster as it continues until the student reaches their max lap score. The Pacer test score is combined in the FitnessGram software with scores for muscular strength, endurance, flexibility, and body composition.
I don't remember that being part of it. I don't remember that being part of it. Are you sure you're reading the right thing?
I'm just reading off their website.
No, that's not part of the official quote. The official quote, part of every child.
You're talking about what the thing actually.
The actual thing. Yeah, the actual thing.
Like what it says
the
on the test.
Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult each time you continue. The running speed is okay. I have this cleaning thing, like cleaning dirt. I'm entertaining the viewers. I'm entertaining them.
Okay.
This is satisfying.
The FitnessGram Pacer test is a multi-stage aerobic capacity test that progressively gets more difficult as it continues. The 20-meter Pacer test will begin in 30 seconds. Line up at the start. The running speed starts slowly but gets faster each minute after you hear this sound. Boop! A single lap should be completed every time you hear this sound. Boop! Remember to run in a straight line and run as long as possible. The second time you fail to complete a lap before the sound, your test is over. The test will begin on the word start. On your mark, get ready, start. Boop!
And that's when you know what I'm imagining during that whole scenario? I'm imagining like the gym teacher has all the students lined up, ready to start. And then they play that clip of the guy saying it, and then all the kids are just like disengaged. And then like the gym teacher's like, "All right, hold on," and then pulls up a screen of something like that, and then the kids actually watch it as they're listening. And then as soon as the thing starts, that's when they start running. They start running towards. Now here's what's funny: they put the brain rot on the other side of the gymnasium, the TV screen, and the kids run towards it, and then the TV screen goes over to the other side, and the kids, and then they run
They're just
to that, and then
they're
it goes
just
back
chasing
and
the
forth.
brain rot.
Chasing the brain. They're chasing the brain rot. Yes.
Isn't that all kids do these days?
A more effective approach would be having TV screens on both sides of the gymnasium, and you're turning on half of the TV screens on one side and then once all the kids get to that side, you turn off those screens, and then you turn on the screens on the other side, playing the brain rot, and then
yes,
that's how you get the kids running. So yes, I think we have single-handedly solved kid on exercise. Man, we figured out
this is how you make kids
formula.
exercise. You just show them brain rot that's far away, and they'll try to get closer to it,
so that they can watch it up close. Yes. All right. Alright, so Steven, I think that'll be it for our wacky episode. On a scale of 1 to 10, how many wacky points would you give this episode?
I would award this episode a solid 7.9 wacky points.
Yeah. I, for one, would give it 7.91 wacky points. But that's just me. That's just me.
Mr. One Up over here.
I priced this right. I pulled a Price is Right. I don't know if you've seen that show, but basically at the beginning of it, the contestants row, you basically have to guess how much a thing costs. Let's say someone say 500, and then the next guy says 501. That's what I did right there.
I don't know. I haven't seen enough of the Price is Right to know how that works.
Okay. All right. Well, in any case, thank you all for watching. We'll be back again with another wacky episode, full of all the whacks that you could be asking for.
And
on that note,
maybe next time we'll even be able to reward that episode with 7.92 wacky points.
That's too many wacky points. Too many wacky points. Okay, now we're starting to talk like brain rot YouTubers.
Maybe we are just gonna become brain rot YouTubers.
Is that our destiny? Is that our fate? I think that's just the fate that every YouTuber succumbs to at some point.
Is our fate to just eventually sit here at a screen and say Skibbity Toilet, Ohio, Riz, Sigma, whatever?
That's like that famous Dark Knight quote. You either die a hero, or you live long enough to see yourself become the brain rot. We never knew what he meant until now. But now we know. And on that note, thank you all for watching. Thank you all for watching. And as always, please like and subscribe for another episode of
To Whom It May Concern. Podcast out.
Podcast out.